What's up, everybody? Man, it's your boy, Mr. Dugai, coming at y'all with another live Q&A, y'all. Thank y'all, of course, for tuning into your boy again for another Tuesday episode. First off, man, first and foremost, man, before I get started, yo, everybody, once again, man, y'all stay safe out there. It look like a lot, most states are in phase one right now. But y'all go out there, man, y'all stay safe. Wash your hands, wear your mask out in public, do whatever you got to do, man. And let's flatten this curve, so we could get back to some normalcy, yo. A lot going on, man. Obviously, man, the NFL is kind of at a dry period right now. Though some teams are able to open up their facilities. In college football, particularly SEC country, some big news went down as on June the 8th, players are allowed, to report to facilities, to start practicing and stuff like that. Um, NBA are in talks right now, man, of trying to resume the season. They debating whether they go straight to the playoffs. Do they do a 1 through 16 NCAA tournament style bracket? Is it a best of seven, best of five, one and done? They still trying to iron that out. Major League Baseball, man, they had a new proposal today where they're asking the players who making a lot of money to take a big pay cut, and the guys who are not making so much not to take much of a pay cut. And they still trying to iron things out. But hopefully, man, like, soon we'll get back to real live sports, man. I'm sure that's something that we all missing and feeling right about now. But and nevertheless, man, we're gonna talk about it here, man. Greatly appreciate each and every last one of you for tuning into your boy again, man, for another live show, yo. All right, let's see what we got. What's up, Crimson Brave 2020, aka BDS? Appreciate you tuning in, yo. Crimson Brave first, man. Hey, greatly appreciate, man, the support you give your boy every week, yo. What's up, Lenny D? Appreciate you tuning in. What up, Mr. Duga? I made a Carson Wentz versus Patrick Mahomes. Uh, I like that. I like that. You say you made a video on that? I'm gonna have to check that out, man. I'm gonna say this, man. It's a lot closer than people think. Like, I know you got to get ass to Mahomes right now. Mahomes is the one of the league MVP. He's won a Super Bowl MVP. He got injured, but he came back out there and did his thing. He on top of the world right now. But I'm telling you what, man, Wentz could stay upright and these receivers could do their thing. Wentz could be coming down on his tail, yo. What's up, Sir Nando 27? Appreciate you tuning in. 2014 playoff for NHL. You like that format if season resumes? Hey, that's fine with me. I ain't gonna lie, I'm not much of a big hockey person. I am, however, aware of what be going on, who be winning and stuff like that. With hockey, it's pretty cool, man. The only thing with that is like, with hockey, man, it's such a goalie oriented sport, man. So like one of these like 20 for like the 23rd or 24th team, if they get a hot goalie, they could go out there and win that thing. You know what I'm saying? But hey, that's cool too, yo. That's cool too. Do guys, 90% of people on YouTube not. Hey, greatly appreciate that, man. Thank you so much, man. I'm humble, yo. Hey, I'm glad, man. I just keep doing it, man. With support from guys like you and everyone else on here, man. Thank y'all so much for the love and the support, yo. Did you hear Skip this Jalen Rager? I didn't get to see it yet. I actually seen a little clip of that, like basically an hour or so ago. But I'm gonna check that out though, man. But of course, man, what you expect from Skip, yo? Skip believes that every Eagles player, with the exception of Nick Foles, you know what I'm saying, isn't any good. And he believes that every Dallas player, and coach, with the exception of Jason Garrett, is worth something. So, he still to this day believes that Dak is better than Wentz and believe that Wentz is a deer in headlights, whatever the hell that means. You know what I'm saying? So, that though, but I don't expect nothing less from him, man. But I am curious to go see what he been saying though. What's up, Trey Lorenzo? Appreciate you tuning in. What up, Mr. Duga? I don't want the NBA to come back with no fans. And I've been watching highlights of Jalen Rager. The guy can jump through the roof. I'm going to give him a chance. First off, with the second part of your statement, I'm at the point now where I'm willing to give Jalen Rager a chance too. When I watch him on film, he is very explosive. He is a very explosive athlete. I will give him the benefit of the doubt that he had terrible quarterback play, when he was over there at TCU. So you would think that now coming into this system, with a quarterback like Carson Wentz, that we could actually maximize his potential. And, I'm willing to see too. I'm actually kind of excited now to see what he do. And as far as the NBA with no fans, I feel you, but me personally, I want it back. Like, I feel you, but I want it back, man. I know a lot of people gonna try to, basically say this season is tainted and it's an asterisk next to whoever win it. But for me personally, I think it's gonna be very intriguing to see them try to play out there, with no fans, basically with no home court advantage. I think it's gonna be very intriguing, and I want to see who could rise to the occasion and get it done. So me personally, I do want to see it. The one thing I do want to happen, I want them to go straight to the playoffs. I want them to go do their little training camps or whatever and go straight to the playoffs. For me, it's no purpose, in bringing all 30 teams or 20 something or whatever out there to Orlando, Florida when, you know, basically most of them are already mathematically, eliminated anyway. So me personally, if it was my opinion, if it was my choice, I would wherever everybody ranked right now. I wouldn't even do. I get it with the whole 1 through 16 stuff. I would keep it like it is, man. I would do East versus West. 1 versus 8, 2 versus 7. Best of 7, best of 5, however they want to do it, and just roll with it like that, man. And this year gonna just be known as the coronavirus year if everything gets back to normal. So similar to like what 99 when the San Antonio Spurs won the championship. That was a strike shortened season. Also in what was it the 2011 2012 season. That was a shortened season. That season didn't get started until like Christmas Day. But you don't hear people saying like, well, I know this situation obviously is much different, but I don't hear people saying like, "Oh man, the Spurs won in '99," but boy, that year it was a shortened season. Or man, the Miami Heat, LeBron, Wade, and Bosh got it done in 2012, but boy, they didn't start till Christmas Day. So me personally, I want to see it. Thank you. Mahomes is an elite QB, but nobody can do what Wentz did with this team besides Russell Wilson. I agree, man. That's why I can't wait to see him out there, with healthy, legitimate weapons. Because Wentz is in extreme talent, a very extreme talent, yo. And then that's why I just sit back, man. Like I remember arguing, with a Saints fan a couple of weeks ago, about, they said apparently Dan Orlovsky did a list and he had Carson Wentz in his top 5 and he didn't have Drew Brees. So this Saints fan, she took it upon herself to just ask Carson Wentz. And I'm like, hold up now. Like, go look and see what he's done with the little bit of receivers to no receivers that he's had. Now, I'm not sitting here saying that, I would take, well, I mean, Orlovsky going about now. Like, Breeze is great, first ballot Hall of Fame, one of the best to ever do it. But I mean, he is an older quarterback. So is Tom Brady, so is Aaron Rodgers, so is Ben Roethlisberger. So, obviously those guys can still produce at a high level, but they're older, so they can't do as much things, as they used to do. So I'm not mad at Orlovsky for he had Lamar Jackson in there, he had Mahomes, he had a couple of youngsters in there. So but like I try to tell this person, like, yo, Wentz out there doing it basically with nobody, yo. So like, and you're right, Russell Wilson is probably the only other guy that, could really, really, really exceed with basically nobody's out there. What's up, Durgan Zapala? Appreciate you tuning in. How are you, a Braves fan and an Eagles fan? Let's see. The Braves were on TBS all the time when I was a little boy. I started really getting into baseball around the 90s when the Braves were winning all those division titles and it was on TBS all the time. I became a fan. And as far as the Eagles, man, I was a big fan of Donovan McNabb back in the day. Him coming out of Syracuse. And when he went to the Eagles, I seen him play with the Eagles. I became a fan. You know, as far as like Louisiana didn't have no baseball team, you know what I'm saying? Still don't. Never really got into the Astros like that. And the Saints were not any good. So they were terrible. So there you have it. Let's see. What's up, Big Pain? Appreciate you tuning in. I got Wentz throwing for 35 to 40 TDs. Our defense, our D line will be elite with Hargrave. Don't forget about Gerard Avery. Plus, our secondary is faster and younger. I miss Malcolm, but he was very slow. Uh, I like that. I like that a lot, man. I like that number for wins. Maybe even a little more, but 35 to 40, I'll take that all day. As far as our D line, I agree. I mean, it should be. The only thing I'm concerned about as far as that D line, man, is Derek Barnett. And you're right, we do got Gerard Avery, but you know he got to start showing me a little something too. Is Derek Barnett is the only question mark. You believe if everybody's healthy, of course. You know with this team, everybody got to be healthy. If you know everybody healthy, man, you got to believe Fletcher Cox go do his thing. Hargraves on side of him gonna do his thing. Don't forget we could still throw Malik Jackson in there as a rotational D tackle. You know Brandon Graham is Mr. Consistency and is just extremely solid on one DN spot. It's all about Derek Barnett, man. Can he go out there and be a consistent pass rusher? Can he give us 10 plus sacks? You know, can he hold it down? Because that's the one part of that D line that that I worry about a little bit. And as far as the secondary, it should be better. It should be better, yo. I know, like you said, Jenkins is a big loss. Love him, you know, even more than his play, his leadership. But you know, he was a, I'm not gonna lose sleep behind it because it's simply, I mean, I remember when this guy left. I remember when this guy went to Denver. I was devastated because we literally just came off of a run to the NFC Championship game when we lost to Arizona, and then he signed a big deal with Denver. Denver that broke me up, and the team was still able to go 10-6 the following year without Brian Dawkins. So if they could survive not having Brian Dawkins out there, if they could survive, that's having other certain players out there. I think we'll be all right, man, in the long run, without Malcolm Jenkins. That's why I guess they really trying, Jalen Mills in that spot because they know at least Jalen Mills knows the defense. He knows the coverages, he knows the checks and all that. But I'm expecting a year for Kayvon Wireless, to start picking up all those things. And then I think next year after the season, he'll be our starting safety. But you're right, I am glad we did get younger, yo. What's up, Richard Hall? Appreciate you tuning in. What's up, Mr. D? As far as college sports go, my concern is really for the smaller conferences. Some programs already being cut, shaking my head. Yeah, you're right, man. You're absolutely right. I think obviously, like the SEC, Big Ten, and and all those conferences are going to be fine. But you're right. The smaller conferences. Is it what the Mountain West? Was that the Mountain West, or I think it was the Mountain West? One of them conferences was already saying that they may not play any football this season. That's a lot of that school's budget. That's a lot of the school's budget. It's a lot of budget for the bigger schools too. But they gonna do what they gotta do to get back there on that field. The smaller schools, it is a little different, man. Those football, budgets a lot of help support a lot of things that these universities have going on. So it's a very unique and very weird situation that's going on. But we just gotta see. Then there's talk now that which I'm a little concerned about, that they're saying they feel like around flu season and all that, we may get another wave of this thing going on. And if that happens, like man, that's in the heart of football season. You know what I'm So I mean, I don't know, man. All we could do now is just, take this thing day by day with a grain of salt. Just stay prayed up and just see what happens and just follow, governors and everything's orders and see what happens, yo. But hopefully everything could get back to normal, but it will definitely be weird at least for a while, yo. What's up, KB Brown? Appreciate you tuning in. How you doing, Mr. Dugas? What did you think of that asking for 40? Oh man, bro. I was supposed to do a video on that, but I ain't had the time. Like when that news broke, I was pretty extremely busy. It tells me one or two things with him, man. It either tells me that, he is very delusional. Like he extremely in his own mind believes that he's a top tier quarterback in his own little head. You feel me? Or it tells me that, he want to maximize what he could get now because he knows he's not all that. And he knows that this may be on his only opportunity to get a huge, huge payday. Either way, I think it's hilarious. I am fascinated to see what happens in this because on one hand, you got Cowboy fans who've been telling me for years, oh, Dak better than wins, Dak better than wins. But yet, I try to tell them, not to say the guy is awful, but he's a game managing quarterback. He's kind of like how, LSU and Alabama quarterbacks used to be basically before Jambalaya Joe Burrow and before Tua. You know what I'm saying? Like they were game managers. They were out there running the offense and asked to just not screw things up. And that's Dak Prescott. So I just think it's funny if they don't pay him and let him walk. It's like I told you so to these Cowboy fans. But if they do pay him all that money, I'm going to be ecstatic and I'm going to laugh and think it's hilarious that you overpaid for an average quarterback. Now you're going to start losing little bits and pieces on your team. And this guy is incapable, of carrying, what I'm saying, a franchise and an organization. You put Dak on the Eagles last year with all these injuries, Dak does not get that team to the division championship. He just doesn't. But meanwhile, you put Wentz with Dallas with Amari Cooper and, all these other guys, you know what I'm saying? Like, Dallas would have been in the playoffs. So I just think it's hilarious and I'm fascinated to see how this thing ends up, yo. I think that the trade, the franchise tag deadline is coming up pretty soon. So I'm very, very intrigued to see how this thing play out, yo. What's up, Stacy Simple? Appreciate you tuning in. What up? Hey, what's going on with you, yo? Very, very glad you could make it. Eagles should consider bringing back Buddy Ryan. He punted on second down. Oh man, come on, man. He passed away, man. But yeah, that was crazy about the punt on second down stuff. But nah, I ain't gonna mess with Buddy, man. Rest in peace. Jalen Rager could have a great rookie year because he can beat DBs with pure speed. It's just the TCU QBs almost always underthrew the ball. Yeah, like to be fair to him, yo, I agree. I went watch a lot of film on him after we drafted him. And man, he did have terrible QB play. My goodness, those guys were. I seen a stat too that he was like number 3 or something like that out of all the receivers in the country as far as percentage of targets thrown his way, percentage of balls thrown his way that was, labeled, uncatchable. You know what I'm saying? Like to say he was ranked third out of passes that the missed him. Which is a fascinating stat also. But the 40 time was kind of, flukish when you look at it, running that 4.47. For some reason he tried to put on bulk. He felt like that was more important for NFL scouts than his speed, which is not the case. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you watch him play, man. You watch him on film. The guy has an extreme burst, man. He just absolutely runs away from people. And when you combine him with the potential of a healthy, Deshaun Jackson, with the potential of a healthy and Marquise Goodwin. With these young guys, if they get on board, Hightower from Boise State, um, my boy Quez, from Southern Miss, if he could, make the roster, probably gonna be a practice squad guy. But with all that speed, you know, Wentz could really, really, really ball like that, yo. Let's see. I can't stand UGA whatsoever. I can't waste the toss. So sad. It's for one. Oh man, no question, man. I wanted to look into that, which I know they probably don't have it out now anyway. But I was just still curious. I wonder if that's going to be the CBS like night game this season. Because last year obviously they decided to make Georgia Notre Dame, the nighttime prime time game instead of LSU Alabama. So I'm wondering, will they make it LSU Alabama this year? Or will they use it on the game like Alabama Georgia? I'm very intrigued to see how that happens. Do CBS feel like, hey, since we made that game in Tuscaloosa at 2:30, we got to make the Baton Rouge game at 2:30? Or do they just be like, you know what, nah, bro, we got to put LSU Bama back at night. It's dead valid. LSU finally overcame that hump last year, beat them, won the championship. So we gotta put them back at it. But either way, that should be a very intriguing match. Let's see. What's up, Malik Baker? Appreciate you tuning in. What's up, Mr. Dugai? Fly Eagles fly. That's right, bro. Fly Eagles fly, man. Hopefully all this stuff get done with soon, man, so we could get out there letting these players practice, man. Can you imagine the things you hear on the court with the noise of the fans? Be kind of cool to see what players say when they get fouled or refs call bad fouls. Yeah, it will be very intriguing, yo. Obviously they're gonna have to probably, move the mic a little bit because I'm sure they ain't gonna want like, everybody to hear. That's the one thing they're gonna have to adjust because I know they don't want everybody to hear what the coach is saying in the huddle because it's not like it's the NFL, where even if it is the NFL, in a quiet arena, your voice gonna travel. So whenever coaches are laying out, game plans and strategy, how can they fix it to where, where the coach have to whisper, where the coach gives his game plan and his strategy, without the other bench or the other coach hearing them. Hearing the shoot. I actually watched the right when all this was going down that Saturday in Louisiana. It was the state championships in high school basketball. Took place that Friday and that Saturday. This all went down that Thursday because it all went down when Rudy Gobert, tested positive for coronavirus. And they decided to let those state championship games be played with no fans. So I do have a taste of what a basketball game. Now, obviously, it wasn't NBA, but I do have a little taste of what a basketball game will be like without any fans. And I'm gonna say this, man, it's not exactly the same, but it's a gazillion times better than just not having no basketball at all. Like those guys were still competitive. Those guys were still fighting tooth and nail to try to get the W. Those guys still showed a high, quality level of skill while they was out there on the court. So especially these NBA players, it's gonna be very fascinating and intriguing to see, how they do with no fans. Because I've seen it with high school players, and like I said, it's different, but it's better than absolutely nothing, yo. So I definitely I want to see it, me personally. Jake Fromm will become a professional ice fisher down in Buffalo. Not QB though. Cement feet and no noodle arm won't save you in the NFL. Facts or fact. Yeah, I mean, I don't expect him to really play anyway, man. They got Josh Allen up there. Who's the other quarterback they had? I forgot who their backup was. But yeah, I don't think Jake Fromm really. I think in a couple of years he go. I don't know about if he gonna be a he gonna be a ice fisher, but I do believe he's gonna be doing something other than playing in the NFL. I do agree with you on that. In top five, I never count Brady, Breeze, Big Ben, or Rodgers in the top five because they're on their way out the door because they're getting old. Yeah, exactly, yo. I'm the same way, man. That's why I don't understand why, we're not talking about careers here. We're talking about where these guys and these players are right now, today as we speak. And exactly, like those guys on their way out, man. Are they productive? Yes. But I mean, these young guns are coming, man. The league is ready to turn over to, the Carson Wentz's, the Patrick Mahomes, the Deshaun Watsons, all these other, young Lamar Jackson, all these other young quarterbacks, man, that make a real impact on this league, yo. So yeah, so I don't understand why. I don't know, bro. Like I tell them, man, hey, more power to y'all. Just know Breeze is on his way out the door, and I remember what that franchise was before Breeze got there. What's up, Roku3? Appreciate you tuning in. How you became a Heat fan? Good question, man. Back in the day, man, obviously, I was watching, the Jordan Bulls, the last, his last three championships or whatever, and Jordan retired, man. So, it was the NBA shortened striking season. And I always kind of had a thing like for Alonzo Mourning and Tim Hardaway, as far as the way they played. And those guys had a great season, man. And I just loved it, man. I absolutely fell in love with that team, man, and that organization. Obviously, it didn't end well out in Houston, and it went through a couple of little, years here and there. But then the big homie D Wade came on board, man. And then Shaq came, and then eventually years later, LeBron and Bosh came, and now Jimmy Butler's there. So for me, it was that 98, 99 season, man, seeing them become number one seed in the East, behind Tim Hardaway and Alonzo Mourning doing their thing. I kind of wish OSU would have ran through the playoffs and win it all last year, if not us, of course, just so UGA fans could catch extra fire for letting Fields walk like idiots. I mean, he could win next. He could do it next year. Like Fields still there. Like Fields is still. I don't even think he got to win it all. Like Georgia fans know that they botched that, man. They know they botched that. They know that there's no way in hell that Jake Fromm was a better quarterback than Justin Fields. It's just no way. Like, I get it. He went to a national championship game as a freshman. You know who else did that? Jalen Hurts at Alabama. And when another younger, more talented quarterback came along, guess what? He got the job. When Hurts went out there, stunk it up, Tua got the job and won the championship and never looked back. So yeah, they know they botched that. And I'm still curious to this day, man. Did the young man really was delusional and thought that he could have beat out Jake Fromm, or did Kirby Smart sell him on a bunch of nonsense like, oh yeah, you could come in and compete for the job right away and this and that, just to get that kid to go over there, yo. That's something I'm really curious about. But that's something I'm very curious about. But I think I know the answer to that question. I think Kirby really sold this guy a dream, and it backfired. What's up, AB Moon? Appreciate you tuning in. Is the S in Dugas silent? Yes, it is. It's silent, yo. Let's see. To be honest, this is Florida's only chance to win the East. If they don't, they will never. They never will. Dan Mullen hasn't shown me he can recruit. I want them to. I want them. I want them to. Assuming we beat them week 3. Yeah. I'm with you, yo. I think this is definitely his year to try to get it done. And as far as recruiting, you right. I don't think he's made a big splash as a recruiter yet in Florida. But a lot of those great Florida players, man, are going to schools like LSU and Alabama, and Ohio State. Those kids ain't really staying in the state of Florida no more like this. Dan Mullen gonna have to, but for him to start getting those recruits over there, he gonna have to start winning. He gonna have to win the East. He gonna have to end the East and start getting, and that way he can start getting a lot of these, these big time 4 and 5 star recruits out of that football factory to start staying there, yo. Yo, Mike. Oh, my bad. Is it still tripping, y'all? Let me know. I got that. I'm gonna have to buy a little thing where I can hold my phone away like that, so I don't have to touch the mic at all, yo. I know I'll be bad with that stuff. I don't like playing teams twice in 1 year. If we win the first time, I could never accept losing to those months. I mean, join the club. Like, join the club, man. 2011, LSU 9-6 over Bama, and then got to play them in the championship game. Like, I mean, like in college, I hate it too. Like in college, in the NFL, obviously it's common. Sometimes the teams play 3 times if you're in the division and meet again in the playoffs. But yeah, in college, I mean, it's not designed that way. Obviously, if it's you get rematches in conference championships, but then when you're talking about rematches in national championships, it's a little crazy, man. But we gonna see, man. We gonna see. If Dak gets 40 million, Patrick Mahomes need to get 50. If Dak gets 40, Mahomes need to get 75, man. That's how I feel, yo. What's up, Fred Turn? Appreciate you tuning in. What's up, bro? I love everything you do. I love New Orleans. Y'all some good people. That being said, roll tide. Hey, greatly appreciated, yo. Greatly appreciated. Thanks so much for the support, yo. And I was with you until the very end there. Man, I'm gonna have to go Tigers, yo. 2019 national champs, man. I made sure I wore that hat for my good. Let's see. Max Kellerman said Hart, Nate, top five. LBJ, KD, Kawhi, Curry, and Giannis. Is he right? I think he is. That's a good one, man. That's a real good one, yo. That's a good one. Man, that's a good one, man. That's tight. That's a lot closer than I think, man. Than I originally thought. Cause yes, obviously you got to throw LeBron in there. Durant. I agree with him. I agree with him, man. I will put those guys right before Harden, yo. I agree with him. LeBron, Durant, Kawhi, Curry, Giannis. Yeah, yeah, I agree with him. Putting UGA and Notre Dame as primetime over at Bama LSU was a complete joke. I completely agree, yo. I remember like just being livid about that. I'm like, nah, they gonna fix that. I mean, come on, man. Georgia, Notre like, why are they even getting me started on Notre Dame, man? Like, you see, and this is the reason why we don't like Notre Dame like that is because you hate whenever schools get special treatment for not doing anything. Like, they get special treatment for not winning nothing. I know they went to the playoff the year before, but every time they go there, they get smoked. They get smoked by more athletic teams. So I never understood like it had me dumbfounded also, yo. I'm like, bro, LSU, I get it. Bama have won 8 in a row. I get it. We all aware of that. But dude, when you talk about like just straight talent on one field, when you talk about first round players all over the place, when you talk about you know Bryant Denny Stadium on a Saturday night, Death Valley on a Saturday night. And this been your traditional Saturday night game since 2011. And for them to just take it off to put Georgia Notre Dame, I mean, I thought it was a complete joke also. And that just had a little bit to do with that old Notre Dame bias. CBS was all excited because they finally got Notre Dame to play on their network. So they felt like they had to put it in prime time, which I agree, it was a complete what's up, Gate City Blue Devil? Thank you so much, bro, for the super chat. Thank you so much, yo. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. Mike Stand Fun and respect from Tennessee. Hey, respect to you too, yo, and everybody up there in Tennessee, yo. Thank you so, so much for the super chat, bro. Let's see. Let's see. Where was I? Yeah. What's up, RC Cowboys Hendricks? Appreciate you tuning in. Dallas Nation, boy. Like, I mean, I guess. I mean, what y'all want? I don't know what y'all want me to say. I mean, y'all ain't won nothing since '95. Y'all want me to say y'all ain't been this past the second round since '95? Y'all want me to say because y'all got a couple of draft picks y'all like that y'all going to the Super Bowl? You want me to say since y'all got rid of Jason Garrett, you know, Mike McCarthy is the second coming to Jimmy Johnson? You know what you want me to say? Dak Prescott is a $40 million quarterback. Like, I mean, you know, hey, when the season start, what is it week 8? Is it week 8? I want to say week 8 and week 16. Hey, bring it on, bring it on, man. Bring it. We ready for y'all, man. If y'all ain't learned already, y'all gonna learn that day. Those days. Why do people always put Lamar over wins? Like Lamar is not bad, but over wins they tripping. I mean, you know, for them they feel like you know, I don't think personally he better. Me, I don't believe that neither. But I don't have a problem with them feeling that way simply because I mean, you know, the guy had a great year last year. Um, you know, he had a great year. Was the MVP, the unanimous MVP. So I know a lot of people are on the you know, is on the what have you done for me lately, and you know, with them, it's only a select few, you know, of analysts that actually looks at things at face value, looks at things and understand, okay, this is why this is that, and that is why this is this. You know, instead, a lot of them just see 14-2, you know, MVP Lamar better. You know, they look at wins 9-7, got hurt in the playoffs and this and that. So, you know, I'm okay with it. The fun part too is they could settle it on the field this season. You know, Eagles versus Ravens, week 6, they could absolutely settle it on the field. So I'm definitely looking forward to that matchup, yo. Excuse me, y'all. Got a little cough there. We have Florida at the Swamp. Oh, excuse me. We have Florida at the Swamp in 2021. I'm definitely going to try to make a trip up there. Excuse me. That's my other dream place to visit. That's what's up. That's what's up, yo. That's what's up, yo. I think that's a great. I would like to go there one day also. You know, obviously I've never been to, you know, an SEC stadium besides that Valley. So obviously is what 13 other. Well, I don't think I'll lose sleep if I don't get to see Vanderbilt Stadium or Kentucky Stadium or South Carolina. Um, you know, old Arkansas, you know, all those places, you know, it wouldn't bug me. But obviously, I would love to see all the other stadiums. Obviously, I would love to, you know, go to a game over there in Tuscaloosa, go to a game on the Plains, you know, the 12th man, Texas A&M, that whole thing they got going on. The Grove, Ole Miss, Stark Vegas with the Cowbells. You know, like I said, the Swamp, Between the Hedges, you know, Knoxville, Tennessee. That looks like a pretty cool place to visit also. So you know, I would, you know, I would like to see damn near all the stadiums, you know. But if I was you, yeah, and you could, that definitely would be something nice to check out, yo. Did you see CBS not put Wentz in the top 100 players in the NFL, which I don't understand? Yeah, I mean he gets disrespected. I'm curious to see where they have him ranked on the NFL Network top 100 this year. Last year they had him number 96. You know, where I'm like, dude, really 96? I mean, I know, granted, he didn't supposedly finish the season, but 90s, you telling me it was 95 more players in the NFL? You know, that was better. Excuse me, y'all. That was better than Carson Wentz. Nah, bro. After, you know, his great year, he was number 3. So it don't surprise me because, like I said, they had him 96 last year. Clearly, is wrong. You know, clearly is nonsense. It's bogus. Wentz should be in the top 100. But it just makes me wonder also when the NFL Network top 100 players come out, right before the season start, where the players gonna rank Wentz, yo. That's something to keep an eye out for, also. Nope, I want Bama to win it. Have the UGA fans still aren't convinced. Oh, excuse me, y'all. It's been a long day. Still aren't convinced that Fields. They're absolutely crazy. Like, if after watching last wet the bed against LSU, and against South Carolina, and basically seeing Justin Fields be a Heisman Trophy finalist. You know what I'm saying? A finalist for the Heisman Trophy. Coming back this season as one of the favorites, to win the Heisman Trophy. If that still can't convince them, then I mean, they just don't want to be convinced. Like, if NFL does start on time this season, if I was in charge of Chargers, Rams, or Raiders, excuse me, bad. I apologize, y'all. With a long day today, I was in charge of Chargers, Rams, or Raiders, so the team can experience the atmosphere together. Uh, I mean, I don't know, man. I think that that's a lot of money for them people to lose, man. So I definitely think that So I definitely think they ain't gonna do that. But I see your point though. I see your point, but I don't think they're gonna do that though. That's very interesting though. Right now I'm hearing the Jets will trade Jamal Adams. I think the perfect places for him is either Tampa, Seattle, or Philadelphia. I don't think we get him personally. I love him. Obviously, I think he's an amazing player. Former LSU Tiger. Is a difference maker. But I don't think we go that route. Seattle maybe, but I would love to see him in Tampa though. Oh man, if they trade him to Tampa, man, like we all in trouble. Like we all in trouble in the NFC, man. That is just what that defense need, yo. You got guys like Shaq Barrett, and Jason Pierre-Paul on the D line. You got the big homie Devin White, at linebacker, and then you throw Jamal Adams back there in that secondary already with the weapons that they have offensively with Tom Brady, and not to mention he would link back up with Todd Bowles, who was the head coach that drafted him. So I could see that. If I'm Tampa, like I'm making that happen because I just think that's the type of move that so if I'm them, I'm on. If the Jets are serious about moving them, which I think if they do move them would be the stupidest thing that they could ever do. Um, then yeah, I think Tampa is a team. That's a scary, scary, great fit for him, yo. What's up, Harlem Cowboy? Appreciate you tuning in. How is Philly gonna stop Dallas 11 personnel? Coop, Gallup, Lamb with Zeke. I mean, it's like the same way they stopped them last year when they scored 9 points, man. You put pressure on Dak and make him be a quarterback. Like, it don't matter how much weapons he has out there. Like, you put pressure in his face. Let me ask you this: how Dallas gonna block this front four Philly got coming at him? And Darius Slay is gonna be on Cooper mano y mano, yo. And like I said, Gallup, he's okay. You know, he's an okay player, but I don't know if he's great like that. You matter, hang now. And then I mean, Lamb, obviously, you expect great things out of him, but at the end of the day, he's still a rookie, so he got to go out there and do it. You know what I'm saying? So and Zeke, you just do what. Nobody's scared of Dallas. Like I'm just letting y'all know, nobody's scared of y'all. Y'all can get all these people y'all want. Y'all had Dez Bryant before, so like ain't nobody scared of them. Like basically at all. The bitterness and jealousy have made some of these UGA fans that think Fields is no good, blind and ignorant, and everyone is laughing at these clowns. Definitely me. Yeah, like I mean, they just it's their own way. Like me, for example, I'm an LSU fan. I'm an Eagles fan. I don't like the draft pick of Jalen Hurts. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and try to justify what the team did. Like, I think it was a not granted. I'm not saying it's the type of move that can hinder you from winning and winning in a big way, but it's a type of move that I felt like was unnecessary. It's a move that you could have got later in the draft. It's a move that, prevented you from getting a potential a potential surefire, starting corner in Christian Fulton, or explosive wide receiver in Denzel Mims, then to depend on some later round guys that, we see the potential, but still again gotta hope come in there and, and do their thing or whatever. But but yeah, like it's I don't know. They just don't want to accept the fact that they coach, made a mistake. Like it just is you cannot compare Jake Fromm to Justin Fields. Like, I mean, the guy was a Heisman Trophy finalist. Heisman Trophy, yo. I'm seeing mock drafts already for next season. He's a projected top 5 pick in the draft. Obviously, we know where Jake Fromm went in the draft. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, if they can't acknowledge that, then they mean they don't want to acknowledge it. That's just how I feel about it. Slay already locked down Cooper, Lamb in the slot, LeBlanc, Robbie Coleman got that on lock, and Zeke week 16 we shut Zeke down. There you have it. Like there you have it. Well, what's your name again? There you have it, Harlem Cowboy. Like, we did it already, so no big deal. Let's see. I thought all we were going to see is UGA completely blowing Notre Dame out, just to start seeing that UGA team was not very good. I agree with you on that, yo. I remember watching that game also and saying to myself, like, Georgia, it should be dominating this football game. And for some reason, Notre Dame is still hanging around in this game. Oh man, you could imagine if Notre Dame won this game. All this Notre Dame bouquet is gonna be thrown out there. Oh, this the year they could finally do it. Oh, they ready to play the big boys now and this and that. Oh, we would have never heard the end of that, man, if Notre Dame would have somehow, pulled that thing off, man. But I agree, man. Watching Georgia that night, I wasn't that impressed. I really wasn't, yo. And obviously it reared its ugly head when they took on South Carolina at home, and then they had to take on LSU, in that SEC championship game, and we just completely took them apart from basically from start to finish. So yeah, I agree with you on that, man. Oh, excuse me. After seeing that, definitely could have tell that, UGA was not as, great as we all, as a number 3, what there was number 3 preseason. They were the number 3 preseason team in the country. So yeah, you could have definitely tell after that game. What's your honest thoughts on how the Eagles record will fare out? We can't have another year of devastating injuries. No. Assuming, assuming that everybody is healthy, I think this team has a real chance at 11-5, 12-4. If everybody's healthy, they got a real shot at 11-5, 12-4. Everybody's healthy, in my honest opinion. I've been hearing that Bama versus UGA plans to be at 2:30, but I'd love to have night game with both UGA and LSU. Well, if that's 2:30, I wonder what's gonna be the night game. Like, it gotta be LSU Bama, man. Like, they better make it LSU Bama, because apparently in they contract obligations, they only could do one primetime game a year. So if it ain't Georgia Bama, I don't really know no other big, SEC matchups or SEC non-conference matchups in an SEC stadium that's bigger than that. What? LSU Texas? I don't think they're gonna put that on CBS at prime time, honestly. So especially the same night with with Ohio State, Oregon. So I think, LSU Bama got to be the night game, the CBS night game this year, which would be absolutely amazing, yo. Back where it belongs. What's up, Philly Notion? Appreciate you tuning in. How do you feel about Adrian Killings? Do you think he has the change positions to make our roster? We already have a running backs with potential, but you can't teach blazing speed. Um, he is kind of small, to be a running back. And I think we pretty stacked, he would have to beat out a guy. He would have to beat out a guy like Boston Scott or a guy like Corey. Well, I'm gonna say Boston Scott. I think he has extreme speed. But he's just got such a small frame, man. That worries me a little bit. I could see him potentially, having a spot as a kick return guy or something like that. But that means that Boston Scott, I think he would have to beat out Boston Scott to make the 53-man roster. But if he doesn't, I think that the Eagles go try to find a way, to stash him on that practice squad. But yeah, man, he has extreme blazing speed, yo. Extreme blazing speed. Since we brought that up, I want to say something about that to the people that thought Bama was the one that was begging the LSU game to be 230 or so dumb. Is UGA and Notre Dame's fault? Yeah, like I never bought it. Matter of fact, it's my first time even hearing that. Like I knew all along that was CBS because they decided to use Georgia Notre Dame at night. Because I know they did it one year, the 2011 year. The night game was Alabama, Florida that year. I remember when Bama went down there in the swamp and just took Florida apart. That turned out to not be a very good Florida team that season either. But because LSU and Bama was labeled as the game of the century, it was 1 versus 2. And not only was it 1 versus 2, it was like they were 1A, 1B, and the next best team was not even number 2. They was like number 8. Because they were clearly long, far and away the 2 best teams in the country. And this was the most, even till right now, like that was the most hyped regular SEC, if not regular season overall game, going in. So what they did, they paid the extra money to have an extra, night game and make sure that LSU Bama was at night. But last season, for some reason, they decided that they didn't want to do that. And I think I've seen that in the next few years or so, they're actually going to lose their contract with the SEC. I think the SEC is going to move to ESPN. Like they big games of the week and all that other stuff, which to me would be great because now, the SEC game of the weeks are going to be in prime time. It's not going to be this is the best matchup in the SEC this week, but, it's going to be at 2:30. It's going to be at 2:30 time, because, CBS, that's what time, they have they big games of the week. If it's like, so all the great SEC games got to be in the daytime. When games like that should be at night. You see the Big Ten, games are at night, the big ones. Well, besides Ohio State, Michigan, look like that's just a traditional 11 a.m. Central game. But all the other ones are prime time. The Big 12 big matchups of the week are prime time. The Pac-12, pretty much almost all the Pac-12 games are at night anyway. But still. So I think that's gonna be a very interesting move whenever it happens. But I do think that they should make LSU Bama game at 2:30. Not 2:30 at prime time this season. All right, let me try to get to a couple of people I didn't get to yet. What's up, Brandon Reese? Appreciate you tuning in. What's up, Mr. Dugas? The Jets would be stupid to let Adams go. If Dan Mullen fails to beat Georgia this year, do you think Florida fans will turn on him? And do you think Michigan will fire Harbaugh if he loses to Ohio State again? Let's see. Yes, the Jets would be absolutely stupid to let Jamal Adams go. I'm just fascinated that it's even a discussion. If Florida don't beat Georgia this year, I definitely do think the fans will start turning on Dan Mullen. I absolutely agree with that. And I don't think Michigan will fire Harbaugh if he loses to Ohio State, as long as he, consistently beats everyone else. Like, I don't think they're going to, like, even for Les Miles, man, as bad as we wanted, most of us wanted Les Miles out of there. And we felt like he wasn't the guy to get us to that next level anymore. It wasn't that he was losing to Alabama what cost him his job. It's when he started losing to Ole Miss, when he started losing to Mississippi State, when he's letting Florida beat him, when he lost to Arkansas a couple of times. That was when, Les Miles, got relieved of his duties. So I think as long as Harbaugh's still beating the other teams, winning like 10 games every year, I think the fans will be annoyed eventually, but I don't think the people in charge of making those decisions are gonna let him go. Let's see. Dallas also beat Birds 37-10 a few weeks before that. Okay, and where did that get you? Like, where did it get you? It didn't get you anywhere. So nobody cares about that game. Let's see. Let me get some more people I didn't get to. What's up, Big Vol Dad? Appreciate you tuning in. Just rewatched the '05 LSU versus Tennessee game. A huge come from behind win for my Vols and a gut wrenching loss for the state of Louisiana. Any chance you were at that game? Oh, you brought up such a horrible memory, yo. True story, man. I'm gonna tell you about that game and that day. Believe it or not, that day, because it was on a Monday, we played that game on a Monday. Me and my family, it was me, my dad, my sister, my mom, my little cousin, and like my aunts, uncles. We actually that morning, or the day before, we actually just was coming back from Tennessee. We actually went to Memphis, Tennessee, because Hurricane Rita had hit our area. So we evacuated and we went by some of my uncle's brother-in-law in Memphis, Tennessee. So the weekend before that game, we spent that out there. And I remember we got up like extremely early that Monday morning and came back to Louisiana. And my dad had some LSU flags. And I was telling him like, yo, like, bro, put those flags up, man. We playing Tennessee tonight. And he didn't want to do it for whatever reason. But I remember, man, getting home, luckily we had electricity, and everything. Watching this game, man, LSU jumped out, man, to a 21-0 lead. That was Les Miles' first home game too. We just dominating that football game, man. And they just took their foot off the gas, man. And I told people then, man, I never fully trusted Les Miles after that. Now, granted, I'm appreciative of the things he's did. I'm not going to sit there and act like he was not a good coach. Um, but yo, like that game there told me how conservative he was. And there's reports, I don't know if it's accurate, but there were reports that in the locker room after the game, Les Miles and Jimbo Fisher, who at the time was our offensive coordinator, got into a heated discussion, because Jimbo apparently wanted to keep the foot on the gas and Les Miles wanted to scale it back, what he's known to do. And, that relationship was never really great after that. But yeah, that was a horrible loss, man. Now, granted, we regrouped. Excuse me, can't even talk. We regrouped and we went out there and had a great season. Won the SEC West. Lost to Georgia in the SEC championship game pretty bad. DJ Shockley lit us up. And then we beat down the Hurricanes in Miami in the Chick-fil-A Bowl. So I remember that game like that was yesterday. And funny, I was in Tennessee earlier that day, on my way back to Louisiana after evacuating from Hurricane Rita. So yeah, man, that game was that was awful, man. Cause I mean LSU was dominating, yo. Was dominating. And I just didn't understand how we, all due respect to Tennessee, man, all due respect to Tennessee, but I just didn't understand how you, in that, like you say, in that moment, knowing what the state is going through, the game being played on a Monday, on a muggy Monday night, is Monday night football in there, up 21 nothing, man, and you blow this game. Like, that just didn't make no sense, man. Like I said, we regrouped and had a great year after that. But still, that was a very, very ugly loss that I remember like it was yesterday, unfortunately. But all right, y'all, man, I gotta run, man. Greatly appreciate everybody tuning into the live. Sorry if I didn't get a chance to answer your question or your comments. If once this video posts, if y'all want to leave y'all question or comments on the video, go right ahead. I'll get to you as soon as I can. For everyone, if you have my social media account, and you want to, inbox me with your question or comment on social media, feel free. I may not get to them right then and there, but I try to get to at least all my messages on there. And if everybody who don't have it, check out the video, my other videos, and I'll have it in the description box. But all right, y'all, man. Once again, appreciate y'all tuning into the live, man. Thank y'all for coming holler at your boy each and every Tuesday, man. It's a blast. I absolutely love doing it. Hold on, willing to see y'all next Tuesday, man. Stay tuned for some videos I may put out during the week, man. Stay on the lookout for that. And everybody, man, just continue to stay safe out there. And we seem to be getting closer and closer to some normalcy. All right, y'all. Y'all have a blessed one. Until next time, Lord willing. Fly Eagles, fly. Go Tigers.